Well, businesses are in uncharted waters, balancing the surge of the Delta variant with requirements to return to the office, wear masks, and show proof of vaccination. Here to shed some light on the situation is civil litigation attorney Isabella Demajo. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing great. So many questions that people have. First and foremost, can an employer actually require that an employee return to the workplace? I know that sounds like a simple question, but it really isn't.
It's a very tricky question, actually. If you're a state employer, so I'll use the example of the state of Maryland, for instance. Governor Hogan gave a speech about a week and a half ago saying that anyone that works in a state government agency that has lots of interactions with large groups of people, they have to be vaccinated by September 1st or meet some kind of exemption. So exemptions would be medical exemptions or religious exemptions. And then they'll make certain arrangements for you, such as you have to get COVID tested and you have to show negative tests, once a week, or you have to wear a mask or some kind of remote work hybrid situation. If you're a private employer, there's more of a hybrid option because you can terminate an employee if they're not getting vaccinated, and that's your mandated policy. So it kind of depends on what kind of employer you are. I would say best policy is check with legal counsel, consult with a lawyer, start preparing your new handbooks and guidelines for returning to the office to avoid any kind of litigation down the road.
Okay, and you jumped right to the vaccine question with that. I was more talking at first, and I want to talk more about that in a minute. But first, so many people are working from home right now, and with employers trying to bring their employees back, what sort of justification is there for people to say, no, I want to stay home?
So I think if you can prove that you've been productive from home and that you are really concerned, I know the Delta variant, now there are 5 variants out there right now, and Lambda's coming up. You can talk to your employer and you can try and find a middle ground with them. I highly think that a lot of employers are going to be open to that option, particularly in the private sector, more so than the public sector, just because private sector, there's a little more flexibility. If you're a state agency, there are documents that they can't be taking home, for instance. And so that's why those kinds of employers would be requiring them to come back to the office. And I think that's where you'd see a little less flexibility. But I think if you are open and very transparent with your manager, you should be able to work something out.
Is there a difference between the vaccines being FDA approved for just emergency use and then just being approved blanketly when it comes to requiring these vaccine mandates in the workplace? At this point, is there any sort of differentiation between that?
So I think there is, but I think overall, if your employer, so again, we're in Maryland, so I'm using Maryland as the example, says you've got to get vaccinated, you've got to get vaccinated, and that's the end all be all. I think the requirement is September 1st. There's still ample time, to get vaccinated or figure out if you've got an exemption that needs to be met, or whether or not you need to start looking for a different job, unfortunately. And I think is really going to be what the pattern is.
Right, and we know some of these issues are already being challenged in court.
They are, and I foresee a huge wave of litigation upcoming. And again, I would highly advise contacting a lawyer, such as myself or some of my colleagues. I'm happy to refer people. The ground is still very murky. It's a very tricky question, and it's changing every day. I mean, we went from no mask this summer to masks being back in play. Up in Baltimore, you guys had the Ravens Saints game last night, and the audience members had to wear masks at the stadium. This probably wouldn't have been something a couple months ago. So the landscape's perpetually changing, and even from the legal stance, we don't really have any clear mandate. We're still waiting for guidance from the EEOC, for instance, on how to proceed with a lot of these things. So there's still a lot of unknowns.
A lot of unknown, and then for companies that might be worried if they become liable then if there are outbreaks from employees, what is that situation like right now in terms of what companies are facing?
So I think the best thing a company can do first off for this is know who's in your building so that you can do contact tracing very easily and you can comply with the CDC and the local rules and authorities. And additionally, just because someone gets sick doesn't necessarily mean they got it from the office. It could be they got it in the elevator and then it becomes a building management issue and not necessarily your employer's issue. You could have gotten it on public transportation on your way there, or you happen to, just graze something that might have been, or a person come in contact with. So it's more of keeping lists of who's in the building, when they're in the building, so that you can comply with contact tracing. And then I think if you're an employee and you do end up getting sick, first consult with a medical professional. But alert your office so that they can take the necessary steps also. And potentially, an employee can consult with an attorney. And again, there are options if that's really the case, you got sick, or if they knew that someone was sick in the office or wasn't vaccinated and they were exposing you. I think that opens the field to a whole nother set of litigation questions.
All right, breaking a lot of new legal ground here with COVID for sure. Thank you so much for joining us, Isabella Demajo. Thanks again.
Thank you. Have a great rest of the day.
You too.